The reaction was immediate. Philadelphia's championship odds moved from 20 to 1 to 10 to 1. The first run of LeBron's Sixers jerseys sold out within hours, and the governor of Pennsylvania declared July 24th LeBron James Day. The betting move was especially revealing. One announcement cut the market's price in half because the Sixers had added LeBron without giving up a player, a draft pick, or meaningful financial flexibility. Teams normally spend years collecting assets for the chance to acquire someone who can change a playoff series. Philadelphia spent the veteran minimum. What makes the move unusual is that only a few weeks earlier, LeBron was fairly sure he had played his final NBA game. Before deciding where to sign, he had to decide whether he still wanted the daily work of being an NBA player. Philadelphia gave him a basketball reason to continue. The 2025-26 Lakers were not a bad team. They won 50 games even after injuries changed the shape of their season, and they beat Houston in 6 games in the first round. LeBron was no longer carrying every possession the way he did in his 30s, but he was still producing at a level that would be exceptional for almost anyone else. 20.9 points, 7.2 assists, and 6.1 rebounds per game. He could still control stretches of a playoff game, find the weak defender, and punish a defense that was late with its rotation. Then the Lakers ran into Oklahoma City. The Thunder were younger, quicker, and able to keep bringing fresh defenders into every possession. Los Angeles lost 4 straight and went home in the second round. When LeBron spoke after the series, he had no prepared answer about the future. Later, when he explained his decision to join Philadelphia, he admitted that he had been fairly sure he had played his last game. There is a tendency to hear that and turn it into a dramatic retirement story. The reality is probably more ordinary. After 23 NBA seasons, the hardest part is not proving that you can still have a great night. It is building your life around being ready to do it again 2 nights later. The travel, treatment, recovery, film work, and months of preparation before the games people remember even begin. LeBron has also lived under a kind of basketball attention that no other player has experienced for this long. He was being compared with all-time greats before he played his first NBA game. At 41, a poor fourth quarter still becomes a national argument about his whole career. A regular season win in January can turn into a debate about Michael Jordan before the post-game interviews are over. That level of attention helped build the LeBron era, but carrying it for more than 2 decades has to become part of the calculation. When he considered walking away, it was believable. He had already become the league's all-time leading scorer, won championships with 3 franchises, and played with his son. There was no missing statistical milestone large enough to organize another season around. If he came back, the reason had to be basketball itself. Cleveland would have made the cleanest emotional ending. LeBron could have returned to Northeast Ohio, played his final season in front of the people who watched him grow up, and closed the circle where it began. Miami would have been a reunion with the organization where he learned how to win championships. Golden State would have created the loudest story in the league. LeBron and Stephen Curry, after spending so many years on opposite sides of the finals, trying to make one run together. Staying connected to Los Angeles would have preserved the life he had built there and kept him close to Bronny. All of those choices would have produced a cleaner story. Choosing Philadelphia showed that LeBron was prioritizing the roster over the reunion. Philadelphia had tried to recruit him before. In 2018, when LeBron was 33 and still capable of carrying an offense every night, the Sixers were one of the teams waiting for his decision. He chose the Lakers and a 4-year maximum contract. 8 years later, he finally picked Philadelphia on the smallest salary of his career. The destination stayed the same, but the reason changed. In 2018, the Sixers wanted LeBron to define their future. In 2026, he needs them to extend his present. The Bronny detail makes the choice even clearer. Playing together had been a public goal for years, and LeBron completed it in Los Angeles. Bronny remains a Laker, so this move does not preserve the father-son season or serve a larger family plan. LeBron said it directly. This was not about money or family. For perhaps the first time in the final stage of his career, the roster itself was enough. Once sentiment was removed from the conversation, the Sixers made the most basketball sense. LeBron would not have to be the leading scorer, the primary defender, or the player responsible for making every possession work. He could matter without pretending he was still 30. Philadelphia had already changed the roster before LeBron arrived. On July 6th, the Sixers sent Paul George and 4 draft picks to Boston for Jaylen Brown. 2 months earlier, Brown had been on the other side of Philadelphia's comeback from a 3-1 deficit. Now he joins the players who eliminated him. The trade replaced an older, less dependable wing with a recent Finals MVP, who had just produced the best scoring season of his career. Once Brown was in place, the sales pitch to LeBron became simple. Maxey supplies the speed, Brown handles the strongest wings, Embiid controls the middle, and LeBron decides where the ball should go. The 2-year, $8 million contract includes a player option for the second season. LeBron's first-year salary is lower than his rookie salary in 2003. He can afford that choice. Almost no other player could. The important part for Philadelphia is that the deal preserved the team he wanted to join. The Sixers kept their players and their flexibility while adding a decision-maker who normally could not be acquired at any realistic price. Now comes the obvious problem. This team has won basketball and 4 established stars who are accustomed to controlling it. Maxey is an all-NBA guard who creates with speed. Brown arrives from Boston with a Finals MVP and the confidence of a leading scorer. Embiid has spent years as the center of Philadelphia's offense. LeBron has directed every team he has played for. VJ Edgecombe also needs real possessions if the Sixers want their best young player to keep developing. A lineup graphic looks impressive. Making those names cooperate for 9 months is their actual job. It works only if LeBron accepts the role his age now demands. Philadelphia is not asking for the version that won 4 MVP awards or 30 points every night. The Sixers need him to organize the talent already in the room. That sounds like less responsibility during the regular season. In the playoffs, it may be the most important responsibility on the team. Philadelphia has not lacked star power during the Embiid era. The problem has been turning that star power into reliable late-game offense when a playoff opponent takes away the first action. In the regular season, talent can cover a possession that begins badly. In a 7-game series, the other team learns every preferred set, every weak handle, and every passing angle. By Game 5 or Game 6, the offense is often reduced to a handful of difficult decisions. There may be no player in basketball history better qualified to make those decisions than LeBron. He sees which defender is leaning toward the paint. He knows when a switch is real and when the defense is trying to force a particular matchup. He can spend 3 quarters learning how an opponent wants to guard a set, then use that information in the final 5 minutes. Philadelphia is paying him to solve 6 possessions in the 4th quarter of a close playoff game, not to carry a limited roster for 82 nights. Maxey benefits because he no longer has to create the entire advantage. LeBron can force the defense to lean with an early screen, a hit-ahead pass, or a cut through the middle. Once one defender turns his head, Maxey has the opening he needs. We already saw him thrive away from the ball beside James Harden. Playing with LeBron gives him that same head start without taking away his chance to close games. Brown's role is simpler. Attack a defense that LeBron and Embiid have already forced to rotate. When Embiid draws a second defender and LeBron delivers the next pass, Brown receives the ball on the move. He can use his strength before the defense gets set again. Embiid is where the idea becomes both exciting and difficult. He and LeBron prefer to read the game from the same part of the floor, and the spacing can become crowded when Brown and Edgecombe are not respected as stationary 3-point threats. Nick Nurse cannot simply place 4 stars around the arc and expect the names to solve the geometry. The solution is movement. Picture LeBron and Embiid in an empty side pick and roll with Maxey lifting from the opposite corner. Switch the action and a smaller defender ends up on Embiid. Keep the big man near the rim and LeBron gets a lane. Send a second defender and Maxey receives the pass with the defense running toward him. Brown waits on the weak side where one late closeout gives him a direct path into the paint. Philadelphia can create several answers from the same action, and LeBron knows which answer the defense has chosen. From October through March, Maxey, Brown, and Edgecombe need to carry the pace and most of the perimeter work. LeBron's minutes come down. He stops chasing the opponent's best wing every night, and he saves his legs for the postseason. It is the only sensible way to use a 41-year-old player on a team with this much creation around him. Then the entire plan reaches the issue Philadelphia can never avoid: Embiid's health. He played only 38 regular season games last year, and ankle and hip problems affected him again during the playoffs. The Sixers look like a contender when he plays, and an ordinary team when he does not. LeBron can organize the offense, but he cannot replace an MVP center or make Embiid's body cooperate in May. There was no guaranteed ending available. Oklahoma City remains younger and deeper. New York just won the championship after sweeping Philadelphia. Miami has added Giannis Antetokounmpo and Bobby Portis to a team coached by Eric Spoelstra, putting another major obstacle directly in Philadelphia's path through the East. The Sixers have enough talent to face any of them, but their best lineup has never played a minute together. Nick Nurse has 1 season, with a possible second, to manage players at completely different stages of their careers. Edgecombe is developing, Maxey is entering his prime, Brown is starting again outside Boston, Embiid needs a healthy postseason, and LeBron is measuring what remains at 41. A fixed hierarchy will not work. Some games will call for Maxey's speed, and others will run through Embiid. LeBron can finish one night as the point guard, and the next as a screener. Brown can lead the scoring without receiving the final play. Everyone can accept that while the team is winning. The first difficult month will be more revealing. Philadelphia has heard convincing summer arguments before. James Harden was supposed to unlock Embiid. Paul George was supposed to provide the wing the team was missing. Last season, the Sixers came back from 3 games to 1 and finally eliminated Boston, then lost 4 straight to New York in the next round. They have not reached the conference finals since 2001 and have not won a title since 1983. Sixers fans know how impressive a team can look in July and how different it can look by the second week of May. That is why LeBron will not be treated like a visiting legend on an extended celebration. If the team is healthy, the standard is a serious championship run. The city will appreciate a brilliant pass or a vintage fourth quarter, but it will care much more about whether the offense still works when a playoff series turns ugly. LeBron chose a place where his name creates excitement but does not lower the expectation. LeBron has already won with Miami, Cleveland, and the Lakers. A title in Philadelphia would make him the first player to win NBA championships with 4 different franchises, at an age when nearly every comparable superstar had already left the league. Each stop required a different version of him. Miami sharpened his scoring and defense. Cleveland placed almost every important possession in his hands. Los Angeles turned him into a full-time organizer. Philadelphia needs him to screen for Maxey, feed Embiid, direct Brown into open space, and take over only when the game requires it. Talent does not remove the risks. Embiid's body remains the largest concern. A younger opponent can test LeBron and Embiid in transition. The half-court spacing can tighten, and a difficult month can turn private frustration over roles into a public problem. Philadelphia has enough talent to win. It also has several issues that talent alone cannot settle. When LeBron called this his last decision, the phrase brought back 2010, but the circumstances were almost opposite. Back then, he was choosing where to begin his championship life. In 2026, he was deciding